Right, so we've seen how the Australians saw Asia the threat for a good part of the 20th century. In order to keep Australia white, they needed to keep Asian Pacific Islanders out. To keep Australia white, they also needed to, basically to get rid of the Aborigines. So erasing Aboriginal culture and race. Right, so that, remember I've already shown you this map, a map of Aboriginal languages, Aboriginal clans, tribes, etc. So you see that they were living everywhere across the country. But very soon their numbers dropped after the arrival of the British. So this is a very minimum estimate. Okay, so some people say that there were about 1 million before the arrival of the British, others 750,000. So that's really the minimum estimate of the indigenous population when the British arrived. So why? So they were considered as a dying race. They died quite logically because of the introduction of new diseases. That was the main reason. Also because of direct and violent conflict with the colonizers, and because the settlers acquired indigenous land. So very soon the Aborigines were no longer free to go wherever they wanted. So the map I showed you, they represent quite important distances to be traveled by foot, and they were really a semi-nomadic people. And so you see here an image of them being held captive, and that's a photograph of Wyndham, taken at Wyndham prison in 1902. We don't know why they were arrested. Well, they could have been arrested for any reason, really. For drinking, for owning firearms, for entering an area where they weren't supposed to go. And perhaps they were just being rounded up to be moved to a reserve. Okay, so reserves were created to make sure that the Aborigines didn't disturb Europeans. So you had several types of reserves. So the Aboriginal reserves, okay, which were parcels of land set aside for Aboriginal people to live on, received rations and blankets from the Aborigines Protection Board. You also had Aboriginal stations, which was managed by officials with the rations and housing there provided. No housing on Aboriginal reserves. And of course, there were also the missions, okay, with churches, house Aboriginal people and to train them in Christian ideals, and also prepare them to work for white people. So you have an example here, Salvation of the Aboriginals. Okay, so that's an example of a slogan you could find in the mission.